Have you ever found yourself sitting alone in silence, your voice barely audible, as you ask God, "Why does it feel like everyone has left me?" Have you ever watched relationships fade away, even though you tried your best to remain gentle, patient, and full of care? Loneliness often feels like a heavy sentence. It feels like rejection. And many times, we convince ourselves that God is removing people from our lives. But what if God is not removing anything at all? What if He is simply creating room? This story speaks about solitude, faith, and how God quietly prepares a soul by slowly calming the noise around it. Stay with me until the end, because the truth hidden in this story may change how you see your own seasons of silence. In a peaceful rural village, where dusty paths wound between modest homes and open fields swayed gently beneath the sky, there lived an elderly woman named Martha. She moved with careful steps and spoke in a soft, steady voice, yet her heart carried a warmth that never faded. Her house was small, built of aged wood and sheltered by a simple roof. Still, anyone who stepped inside felt an unexpected sense of calm. Martha believed that wherever kindness lived, God was present, and she devoted her life to making sure kindness never ran dry within her walls. There was once a time when Martha's home echoed with voices and laughter. Her husband was a cheerful, hard-working man whose smile came easily. Their son, Daniel, was lively and curious, always asking about life, faith, and the mysteries of God. Together, they worked the land, shared humble meals at a narrow table, prayed before resting, and dreamed modest dreams. Martha often thanked God not for riches or comfort, but for having just enough love to feel whole. Then, quietly, winter brought illness. Her husband weakened day by day. Martha stayed by his side through long, sleepless nights, holding his hand, feeding him slowly, whispering prayers learned in childhood. Sometimes she pleaded for healing. Other times, she simply asked God not to leave. When her husband passed away one early morning, the house suddenly felt too big, too still. Martha wept alone, her face hidden in her hands, questioning why love could hurt so deeply. Yet within that grief, something unexpected stirred. Alongside sorrow, she sensed a gentle reminder God's presence had not departed with her husband. The quiet was painful, but it was not hollow. As time passed, Martha's body grew frail. Her hands trembled, her back bent from years of labor. Still, she clung to prayer, believing that God never gives strength for an entire lifetime, only for the day we are living. When Daniel grew older, he left the village to work in the city. At first, he returned often, filling the house with laughter, stories, and gifts. But slowly, his visits shortened. Then months passed without seeing him. Martha learned to eat alone in the evenings. She became familiar with the sound of the wind brushing her window at night. Loneliness sometimes pressed heavily on her heart, and she whispered, "Is this all that remains?" Yet every morning, she rose before dawn, washed her face, lit a small lamp, folded her hands, and thanked God for another day. She never asked for loneliness to disappear. She only asked to still be useful. She cooked simple meals, cared for her small home, and tended her garden, where touching the soil made her feel closest to God. Children passing by often paused at her gate. She welcomed them with fruit, bread, and gentle stories. She listened carefully to their small worries, believing God listens just as patiently to every soul. Some villagers wondered why she gave so much while living alone. Martha would simply smile and say, "Loneliness is never empty when God is near." Even animals seemed drawn to her home. Birds rested on her roof. An old, thin dog waited by her door each day. Martha would stroke its head softly and say, "God always sends those who need love." One summer, Daniel returned from the city looking worn and restless. He watched his mother continue serving others despite her fragile strength. Confused, he said, "Mother, why do you push yourself so hard? People forget. You should rest." Martha met his gaze gently. "My son," she said, "God has never forgotten me, and as long as I can give love, I am not alone." Daniel struggled to understand. To him, loneliness meant loss. He believed life was measured by noise, not quiet devotion. That same evening, a poor traveler came seeking food. Martha welcomed him without hesitation. Before leaving, the man blessed her, saying, "May God return your kindness when your strength fades." Daniel heard the words, but their meaning had not yet reached his heart. As months passed, Martha's health declined further. Her steps shortened. Her nights grew heavier. Loneliness returned at times, and tears fell freely. Yet instead of hardening her heart, Martha prayed deeper, trusting God was shaping her in unseen ways. One winter, she became seriously ill. She could no longer stand or cook. When the villagers heard, something remarkable happened. People arrived from every direction. Women brought soup and medicine. Children sat by her bed, gently fanning her. Men stood outside her home, praying in silence. In that moment, Martha realized none of her love had been wasted. God had preserved every bit of it. Daniel rushed back when he heard the news. Seeing the room filled with people caring for his mother, his heart finally opened. Holding her hand, he wept. "Mother, you are never alone." Martha smiled weakly and whispered, "God never removes love. He only shifts where it lives." After her recovery, Daniel asked her to live with him in the city. Though afraid, Martha prayed and felt peace. She knew God was opening another door. City life was loud, crowded, and unfamiliar. At times, Martha felt lonely again. Then one day, Daniel took her to a home for orphan children. When he invited her to help there, tears filled her eyes. She knew God had answered her loneliness once more. She cooked meals, told stories, prayed softly, and held children when they cried. They called her Grandma Martha. Years passed. Her body weakened, but her spirit never did. When she passed away peacefully, people from every stage of her life came to honor her. Children, neighbors, workers, and strangers gathered together. Daniel stood quietly, finally understanding that his mother's lonely seasons were never empty. They were guided. And here is the truth. When God allows loneliness, He is not punishing you. He is preparing you. He quiets the world so you can hear love more clearly. He removes people so your heart can grow wider. If you feel alone today, remember this. God may be shaping you into light for someone else. Love given through God never disappears. It simply finds new places to live.